This is your news source evening bulletin for today, Wednesday, the 15th day of June in the year 2022. I'm Gordon Mosley, and here's what we're tracking tonight. ExxonMobil Guyana has recorded its first year of profits after operating in the country for more than 2 decades. The company announced today that in 2021 it recorded $132 billion in profits, following earnings of $254 billion. Guyana started oil production in 2019 after the first discovery was made in 2015. Providing an insight into the company's financial statement for 2021, Vice President and Business Service Manager for ExxonMobil, Philip Rietnema, said the complexities of the business could be seen through the fact that the Guyana operations are only becoming profitable after 23 years.
What you see in the financial statements is that we generated $254 billion of revenue and $132 billion of profit in 2021. This is the first year since our inception in 1999 that we've generated profit in Guyana, underscoring the complexity of our business and the years of investment required before payoff.
The Exxon official also revealed that overall expenses saw an increase last year, as Guyana also increased oil production. He said that together with its partners, Exxon has already invested more than $3 trillion in the Guyana market. By 2025, the total investment in the Guyana operations is expected to balloon into $6 trillion.
In our statement of financial position, you'll see these assets reflected in property, plant, and equipment. Our equity over the year increased 25% to 875 billion Guyanese dollars, driven by our profitability, but also investments from our parent company. We continue to invest greater than the returns that we receive and expect to do so for many years.
And the Exxon officials said the company will continue to invest in the Guyana operations, and the investments are likely to continue to be greater than the returns. He explained that in terms of global operations, Guyana is very important to the Exxon company.
So Guyana is a very important affiliate for our company. You can hear our management in Houston and others talk about it. It's because the future is so bright and exciting. We have a great partnership with the government of Guyana, and we see a mutually beneficial, decades-long relationship here. Our plans today call for having production capacity above 800,000 barrels by the end of 2025, and that's through 4 projects, and we've talked about additional projects 5, 6, 7, and beyond that could take us up over 1 million barrels a day in Guyana. So Guyana is very important to ExxonMobil. We're here for the long term, and we expect to continue to invest over the coming years.
Guyana recently renewed its production sharing agreement with Exxon with very few changes to the original agreement, which was heavily criticized for not having sufficient benefits for the country. The Guyana government has been rolling out several major national infrastructural plans that the country's earnings from the oil production and sale are expected to fund. More news coming up in just a moment.
How fast is fiber? Think fast. GTT Fiber has 3 packages with download speeds of 50, 100, and 150 megabits per second. That's fast enough to stream movies and music, to chat with Gran and Fran, to study, and more. What would you do? Upgrade to GTT Fiber today and don't get left behind tomorrow.
Doors and windows, Republic. Rooms and more, Republic. A brand new rug on the floor. Come to Republic, come to Republic. Whatever you need, you got it. Come through and get your mortgage. Live the dream with Republic.
95 to 100% financing, 50% waiver of negotiation fees, plus one lucky person gets their mortgage paid in full. Turn someday into today. Talk to Republic Bank about your low-cost mortgage today.
sunshine, double cheese balls. We a crunch on a cheese ball. Daddy nickel pick, double cheese balls. Sunshine snacks, cheese balls. Grab a sunshine snack, cheese balls. Stuff cheese in every bite, flavor in every crunch. Extra cheesy, me love it so much. Love cheese in every bite. Grab a sunshine, double cheese balls. We a crunch on a cheese ball. Daddy nickel pick, double cheese balls. Sunshine snacks, cheese balls.
Grab a Sunshine Snacks Cheese Puffs today. More cheese, more flavor.
The Guyana Revenue Authority is reminding companies that their second quarterly payment of advance corporation tax is due on or before Wednesday, June 15, 2022. Payment of this tax is based on the chargeable profit earned for the preceding year 2021. As a matter of convenience, payment can be made through Demawara Bank, GBTI, Republic Bank, or by using MMG or Bill Express. Remember, Wednesday, June 15, 2022 is the due date for the second quarterly payment of advance corporation tax by companies. Pay your quarterly taxes on time, every time.
Get in the game with Buster. Win a full gaming setup, Xbox X, gaming chair, gaming speaker and headset, or any of over 60 weekly prizes like Oculus Quest 2, Mini 2 drone, Nintendo Switch, and many more top gaming prizes. Check below for details.
Welcome back. The former chairman of the Police Service Commission, retired Assistant Police Commissioner Paul Slow, today added his voice to the controversy surrounding the police shooting death of Golden Grove youth Quindon Backus. Backus was gunned down by a special branch rank last Friday in Haslington during what the police said was an undercover operation. During his online talk show today, Mr. Slow said the shooting death of civilians by the police over the past 2 years is worrying. He said equally concerning is that the police version of the incidents is often rubbished by evidence that tells a different story. The retired Assistant Police Commissioner said the discrepancies have raised the issue of credibility for the Guyana Police Force and whether citizens can really trust the people who should be protecting them. As it relates to the latest police shooting death, Mr. Slow said there might have been some breaches in the police standard operating procedures, since the particular operation should not have been led by the special branch.
I don't know if the role of the special branch has changed because, a lot of things happen now. We're getting out of political directions and interference, because I know if they do the intelligence work, even if the special branch is made to do the intelligence to say, well, yes, this is what's going on, the execution of the operation is normally done by CID and uniform rank. Because remember, you have to go to court. You're expected to go to court at some stage to get the evidence, and you always try to shield the special branch from having to go to court, because if they go to court, then the cover is blown.
Slow said he's concerned about the investigation of the incident being carried out by the Police Complaints Authority, since the authority is only empowered to supervise the probe and not actually investigate such incidents.
See, what we know is that the police will conduct the investigation. Because you're talking here about the death of a person, you're talking about a homicide. The police will conduct the investigation, and the Police Complaints Authority is there to supervise, to make sure that the investigation is properly done.
In addition, Mr. Slow pointed out that the force does not conduct regular firearm training and assessments of its ranks to bring them up to speed with firearm use. Hence, police ranks feel that it's acceptable to shoot at civilians.
Many of the police ranks, and I dare say even the civilians, who are carrying firearms do not know the rules governing when you may fire. They do not know the rules governing when you may fire, and therefore that is the reason, that is the way you get all of these problems. People shooting without justification for shooting.
A post-mortem examination conducted on Monday on the body of Quinton Bacchus confirmed that he was shot 6 times. According to the dead man's family, the post-mortem exam revealed that the youth was shot 5 times to the back and once to the chest. The Guyana Police Force has promised an impartial investigation into the shooting death of the young man. President Irfan Ali took his One Guyana plan to the Region 7 town of Bartica today, where he met with the residents and sought to address some of the concerns and challenges being faced by them. Before meeting with the residents of the community, the president stopped at a number of schools and listened to some of the issues being faced by teachers. Moments later during his public meeting, he announced that the government will be moving to address the concerns of the teachers and the school administrators, while also seeking to train more teachers for the region. President Ali said more government housing will also be built in Region 7 and made available to young professionals. He told Bartica residents that the government will continue to work for all the people of Guyana, adding that all of his promises will be fulfilled.
I am here to tell you have given us the opportunity to deliver those things. We promise it, and we have delivered, and we're delivering it. And that is what we must do. That everything that we signed on to in that social contract when the government is elected has been delivered and is in the process of being delivered. And I assure you today that every single promise we made to every single group will be delivered with the help of God and with strong, hard work of all of us.
Ali said the government's main focus is to ensure that there is more disposable income available to citizens as they face the rising cost of living.
Our task as a country and as a government is to put more disposable income in the pockets of people. Once we put more disposable income in your pocket, you will have more resources to live higher standard of living.
Region 7 is known for its gold mining operations. It was noted during the meeting that the government has removed several taxes to assist the mining sector and has also provided the sector with relief measures. But gold miners still continue to complain about the rising cost of operating their trade. President Ali said the region should look at other forms of economic activity, noting that agriculture needs to be seriously looked at in the region. Managers at the state-owned sugar company Guyana have been warned by the president that it cannot be business as usual with the management of the industry, as it continues to incur major financial losses while production remains low. The government has been pumping billions of dollars into the cash-strapped sugar company, but has not seen any welcoming returns. Sugar production continues to fall below target at the various estates. During the meeting yesterday, the president said his government is not investing resources in Guyana for failure. He said the restructuring and strengthening of Guyana is no joke, and the government is serious about making the industry viable. 180 managers from across the sugar company attended a meeting with the president, along with senior officials of the Ministry of Agriculture. The president reminded the managers that Guyana does not belong to any individual or group, but rather it belongs to the country. He said success for the industry does not start with money, but rather with the teams and people at the company getting their job right. The president also said there will have to be sweeping changes at Guyana. The People's Progressive Party Civic returned to government in 2020 with the promise of making the sugar industry viable again. The government has started moves to reopen some of the estates that were closed by the previous government over their financial losses. 2 years into the government, the sugar company continues to incur heavy losses while feeding on billions in taxpayers' money. Well, after the Guyana government came under yet another stinging rebuke from the top U.S. Congressman Hakeem Jeffries over alleged acts of racism, Vice President Jagdeo responded today and said the U.S. Congressman is clearly misinformed on the situation in the country. Over the weekend, Congressman Jeffries, who chairs the Democratic Caucus for the U.S. House of Representatives, called out the Guyana government over what he sees as the mistreatment of a certain section of the Guyanese population. During his press conference today, Vice President Jagdeo said the U.S. Congressman needs to apprise himself of what is actually taking place in Guyana. He said the government will be working to ensure that the Congressman and others are given proper information about this country.
I think They don't have, these congressmen don't have time to really study what's going on in these countries. So if he were to examine the facts about Guyana, his comments should be more directed to the PNC and APNU, because they're the only racist party in this country.
According to Mr. Jagdeo, the governments of Guyana will have to work more on better informing the international community.
So we're hoping that we have an opportunity to present more of those facts. And I can go through the evidence of it, which I don't want to do today, to show this, how this has happened. And so that is what we'll work on. We'll keep working on these things. We've had the same situation before, twice, even when the elections were rigged and the entire world knew the elections were rigged. He had a different view on the matter.
Last year, the U.S. congressman joined the Guyanese rally in New York and launched a blistering attack on the PP civic government, calling the government out for alleged acts of racism. The government responded by saying it was disappointed that the congressman had allowed himself to be negatively influenced by anti-government activists from Guyana. The National Milling Company of Guyana, NAMILCO, is the latest company to be granted certification to use the Made in Guyana certification mark on its Thunderbolt and Maiden Marian self-rising flowers. Executive Director of the GNBS, Ramrati Karan, said the standards body is pleased to support NAMILCO coming on board with the standards mark program.
For years, as we all know, businesses has been calling for such a program, which provides a mark that differentiates the product based on key quality and other requirements. The Guyana Manufacturing Services Association, which is represented here today by Mr. Ramzi Ali and Mr. Rafi Khan, played a critical role in the development of this program.
Quality manager at NAMILCO, Tejwati Williams, said NAMILCO has always been looking for ways to demonstrate quality. She said the requirements to attain the mark were stringent.
We thank GNBS for granting us this certification. We must share the fact that this certification mark awarded was not given at a whim, but was bestowed only after we completed stringent audits and have met all the criteria set out by GNBS. This augurs well for the integrity of the award, and so we are proud to have the certification mark affixed to two of our main products, the Maiden Marian Self-Rising and the Thunderbolt.
And the Director of Business at the Ministry of Tourism, Industry and Commerce, John Edgell, said the government has placed much emphasis on the Made in Guyana certification, and he hopes to see more companies getting on board.
As we are all aware, we have the oil and gas resource, and that has placed Guyana as a global spotlight, and international companies are constantly seeking trading partners and investment opportunities. However, this places us on the world stage not just for prominence, but this esteem level demands greater expectations of our companies, processes and standards. We are in the big league. It is no longer business as usual.
The Made in Guyana certification is valid for a period of 1 year and is open to all local manufacturers. Manufacturers must use at least 60% of the raw materials for the products from Guyana, and at least 70% of staff members should be Guyanese. The GNBS said that through the registered mark, it is seeking to provide recognition to locally manufactured products.
Combo pack of we feeling best. Sunshine stacks above the rest. There is no contest, is the best mix, so we feeling best. Best value to how you feeling. Ole cheesy, too much ripples and more combo pack of flavors galore, yeah. Combo pack of we feeling best. Sunshine stacks above the rest. There is no contest, is the best mix, so we feeling best.
Sunshine Snacks Combo Pack, now with a new look and new mix. Grab your pack today.
Best mix, so we feeling best.
Mobil Special and all other Mobil lubricants are distributed by Salt Guyana Inc. Mobil Special and all other Mobil lubricants are distributed by Salt Guyana Inc.
Doors and windows, Republic. Rooms and more, Republic. A brand new rug on the floor. Come to Republic, come to Republic. Whatever you need, you got it. Come Get you and get your mortgage. Live the dream with Republic.
95 to 100% financing, 50% waiver of negotiation fees, plus one lucky person gets their mortgage paid in full. Turn someday into today. Talk to Republic Bank about your low-cost mortgage today.
Win a full gaming setup, Xbox X, gaming chair, gaming speaker and headset, or any of over 60 weekly prizes like Oculus Quest 2, Mini 2 drone, Nintendo Switch, and many more top gaming prizes. Check below for details.
Fuel it up and drive, Super 95. Tune up, fuel it up and drive, Super 95. Tune up. Protect your fuel system, boy. High mileage and performance, boy.
Guyana Super 95 gasoline gives you more reasons to drive and is available at 56 service stations nationwide. For affordable price, high performance, and high mileage, choose Guyana's Super 95 gasoline.
Fuel it up and drive.
Across the region tonight, the Barbados Secondary Teachers Union is not on board with attempts to accommodate more students in the classroom, warning that COVID-19 is affecting an increasing number of Barbados' educators. In a written statement, the union president, Mary Redmond, cautioned of growing levels of absenteeism among teachers linked to the COVID-19 virus, as she urged the authorities to revert to the hybrid arrangement that started back in February. The union president said presently there have been reports of large numbers of absences of teachers from schools which, based on the understanding of the union, is related to COVID-19. She also disclosed that principals had also been complaining about the impact of the absenteeism on the supervision of students and the enforcement of protocols. Barbados Today says it was informed that the Barbados Association of Principals of Public Secondary Schools has also approached the Ministry of Education about the challenges that they are facing in Barbados with COVID-19 and the education system. In Trinidad, the Law Association of Trinidad and Tobago plans to investigate the disqualification of the island's Attorney General Reginald Armour from the Piarco International Airport civil matter in a Miami court. Its counsel, led by Senior Counsel Sophia Choate, met yesterday at its Port of Spain headquarters for its monthly statutory meeting where the matter came up. Immediately following the meeting, the association issued a press release stating that it had noted the various requests for its response on the issue. The calls come as the furore surrounding the Attorney General continues, with numerous calls for him to resign his position after he was disqualified from representing the country in the civil matter directly linked to the Piarco Airport fraud case against former Finance Minister Brian Kutang and others in Miami. In April, just weeks after Amor was appointed as the Attorney General, Kutang filed a request to have Amor and U.S. law firm Secor Law disqualified from the civil matter against him. Kutang claimed that Amor could have shared sensitive information that he gleaned from representing him, Kutang, and his then-girlfriend in the Piarco Airport preliminary inquiry back in Trinidad and Tobago between 2003 and 2008. Armour's affidavit filed in response claimed that he was a junior attorney at the time, and his role was limited to note-taking. And finally tonight, international news. The Dutch Social Affairs Minister has been criticized across the political spectrum for suggesting that young, jobless people from depressed French suburbs could take up jobs in the Netherlands. Karin van Gennep was trying to address shortages in the Dutch labor market and added that work also helps people get on the right track. Political figures quickly pointed out that 1 million Dutch people were out of work. The minister quickly backtracked, saying that the French idea was not a plan. She stressed that she was merely responding to a European Commission plan to bring in migrant workers from outside the EU, which she said was skipping a few steps as there were plenty of young Europeans available to do the jobs. And that's your News Source Evening Bulletin for tonight. I'm Gordon Mosley reporting and encouraging you to stay safe.